Hey guys, so the other day someone left a comment in one of my videos that I should go through all of my Nensous and comment on the artwork. Well, I don't think I'm necessarily going to comment on all of the artwork. I did decide that I am going to go through my Nensous with you guys. I know that because I have access to DMM for the Japan version, I can get a much higher res and larger image than most people in Global can, who are basically either getting it from either their phone or through a simulator, which really doesn't help the resolution at all. DMM is an actual port of the Tagatame game itself, so you can get better res on it, obviously, as I was just saying, and it's made to work with computers. So let's go over here to the gallery, and I'm going to use the gallery today because this is far easier than going through my own stash, because I won't have to go through a bunch of duplicates. I'm going to be starting with the 3-star Nensous and going the whole way through to the end, every single Nensou I own. So this is going to take a while. I'm going to be full screening everything, so if you want to take a screenshot off of one of these videos and use the image for yourself, you're more than welcome to. I mean, this is all like public. You can get these images like straight off the database, so it's not like you have to credit me or anything. Just do whatever you want with them. Just they're bigger, you know. So let's get right into it with the Disgaea Nensou. I mean, not much to say there. And here is the Lizardman Nensou, and this is actually a really funny Nensou. I do quite like it. You notice there's a little plant there in the top right corner with the lizard that's jumping. Pretty cool. And I'm just going to go quickly through all of my 3-star Nensous now, because there really aren't any 3-star Nensous that I think are worth commenting on. Oops. This is probably going to be your best 3-star Nensou because it'll help you get your JE coins. I farmed so many of those to max limit break to get their, or not max limit break, but rather their max vision percent in order to get those coins. Thank God I've finally gotten past the threshold where it's like I always have coins on hand. And this is probably going to be the other good 3-star Nensou because it actually has a good VCR on it. And this is actually a legitimate HP Lustberg 3-star Nensou. I legitimately use this on my units. So now we go into the 4-stars. The 4-stars obviously have some better artwork. I'm not a huge fan of the Forecaster Nensou though. Shayna's Nensou is pretty good, and it's going to do very well on Suzuka for you until you actually get Suzuka's Job Plus Nensou. And obviously the MC Stone Nensou is pretty good itself. Some of you probably recognize this one from the pic I put out the other day. We have Monzine and Autima. Rest in peace. The VCR you actually get from this, you're going to want a couple of them. You're going to want a couple of those meats. They're pretty good, and now that Shayna has access to the Dragon Cab, who knows, maybe I'll use it on her too. Don't forget that Leona just got Job Plus and she wants that. I feel bad for the maiden butler in the bottom corner. I think I skipped over Lamia. Retzius and Lucian can both be good if they were given the right stats and jobs, but unfortunately they remain far behind. This is probably one of my favorite 4-star Nensous. Aswad looks really good in this picture. I just wish Aswad was a better unit in general. And this is the best 4-star Nensou. You're definitely going to want to get your hands on this because this is where the Fujika VCR comes from. Arguably one of the best accessories in the game. You guys aren't going to have this for a long time, but it gives 25 gold weapon shards for upgrading your weapons from 4 to 5 star. So now we finally get into the 5-star Nensous, and this is the first Nensous that were released were kind of limited to a couple units. This is don't forget that Ren wants Chloe's Nensou because it's best on Ren, and eventually Chloe will want it once she gets her job plus and becomes usable. This is really good on any Slothstein unit, to be honest. And this is really bad on every unit that isn't Nina, possibly Victor. Not that I ever use him, but unfortunately Nina does get her own Nensou eventually, so the Nensou is hardly ever used. Both Corvus and Zahar really like that Nensou. So this is probably my first artwork that I really like. Yeah, I just like Maya's determined face in that. She looks really adorable. It's a really good Nensou too. I really like the artwork on this one too. And this Nensou has the best bow in the game. Make sure you grab a couple of copies of those over time. This is an event Nensou, and unfortunately it really sucks. Though it does give Fiona a bride outfit. Now this is arguably, I think, one of the best artworks in the game. Super edgy. It's a shame Dawn kind of sucks, but I really do like this art here. I even used it as my desktop for a while, until my eyes couldn't take the red anymore. But it's really stylish. So here is Kanan's Nensou, and I suppose this is a really good time to mention that there may be some spoilers for future babbles and stuff that you guys haven't seen yet, so do keep that in mind if you continue through the video. If you notice, Zane is in the reflection of the blade, as Kanan takes her place as Lord Master, I think is the job. It's a really good Nensou overall. Now, this is a good Nensou on Kuden and Kuden alone, and the VCR is for Kuden alone, so overall it's not a great Nensou, unfortunately. But it haunts my gacha, so I actually have it max limit break. This is one of the better Lust Nensous because it gives Fire Exploit. Very good Nensou to have, even if you don't have Yoris raised. Honestly, I think you need a couple dupes of Mons to make him worthwhile, make the Nensou worthwhile using as an HP Nensou, but otherwise, it's okay, I guess. So this is from the Crystal of Reunion collab. It's a free Nensou for Merlinus. The stats on it are pretty bad, and I really don't even know who the characters are. So this is like the lead development team for Takatami, to my knowledge. The guy in the middle is Imaipi, or I think it's Imaizumi. Basically, every bad decision that was ever made in Taga was probably this guy's fault. I'm not really sure who the girl and the other guy are, but they're also included in a lot of the event stages where the producer shows up. So here is Setsuna's Nensou, and yeah, everything's on fire. It's a really nice looking Nensou. And eventually we did get the Setsuna Kimono Skin, because I know that there were some people who were kind of upset that she didn't get a skin with this when this was originally released. As for which Nensou is better, they're actually both about the same. They both do different things. I think I like the perks on the other Nensou better, but damage-wise, they're about the same. So here's Izuyo's Nensou. The VCR on it's not the best, but it's a nice looking Nensou. So here is Baby Yomi, and she is absolutely adorable. I love this. It's a very nice looking Nensou with the stars and pre-edge gen. So this was released with the Lucretia Job Plus event. You can see Eve, who stalks like every female character, I swear. she shows up way more often than she should. It's funny how often she'll actually show up in a lot of event storylines. Because she shows up in the Valentine's Day storyline, she shows up in the Bride storylines, and I swear she's just everywhere. And this is a free Nensou, and that character that you see there is Moa, and she is related to Eve. I forget if it's like a cousin or something, but she is related to Eve, and she likes to stalk people too for a living. I do really like that expression she has, though. That's a sadistically happy smile right there. Like, you can see the determination in her eyes, and that Lucretia is going to be the victim here. So this is a pretty nice Nensou, although I still can't get over the fact that it looks like Sieba is missing a finger. So unfortunately, I don't use this for anything. We never did get everyone's swimsuits though, so look forward to that this year. Although they probably will get different swimsuits, but we'll see. So this is Yomi, and if you want to use Yomi in Japan, you pretty much have to have this Nensou. It's pretty mandatory. It's a really nice looking Nensou though. So I don't have Alma's Nensou, but this is the free Rebecca Nensou, and you actually get the unit Rebecca with this. Overall, it's an okay Nensou. Really, only Rebecca and maybe Lisbeth can use it. Alma doesn't even want to use this. She has different. She can use her own Nensou because you have to get her Nensou in order to get Alma. But so I don't have Teresa's swimsuit Nensou. So this is Kudito and Reimei. A nice looking Nensou. It's got a decent VCR on it. Good stats on it overall. And here is Zane in the gang, and you'll notice this is actually like an older picture. So Kanon and Kagura are still young. You notice that Sada over there is actually younger than Ultima, despite the fact that they look relatively the same age, which just means Ultima is way older than we think he is. Yoris has shorter hair, and Bonzane obviously different armor. A much softer facial expression too, lacks a beard. Kuden is over there, pre-edge Kuden. Notice that he is not completely freaking out and making stupid decisions. And the girl there you might not recognize, her name is Kaya. And she is like the only DJ unit without a Kaigen right now, so hopefully that'll come soon. And this has Miana and Katanova in it. And I assume that the guy on the left is Zane, but I could be wrong. I can see like the whitish hair there. And obviously Miana's dad is there in the background. I don't know, I just don't think the art on that's that great, and the Nensou itself is pretty useless to me because I never raised Catanova. So I really like this expression, and I really like both Ott's expression, that pure wonder, that sparkle in her eye, but I also like Fury's like, oh god no expression, like she knows what's gonna happen next. So this is Rado's Summer Nensou. Really only Rado is going to want to use this. Maybe Rada. The VCR itself is pretty good on both of them though. And here is Aishah's Swimsuit Nensou. And this is a really nice looking one. You know, assets aside, I really do like the way they did up Aishah's hair and that skin and the Nensou. Her hair's done up real nice. And the flower's a nice touch. Behold the glory. That's all I have to say on this one. So, the real star of this Nensou is the Ratty in the upper left, who is surfing on a wave. Otherwise, this is almost Swimsuit Nensou, and it's basically just a one-piece swimsuit. It's nothing special. It's technically a limited Nensou, but they gave out a free copy to everyone when the event originally ran. Elizabeth looks pretty excited too. I unfortunately do not have Becca's swimsuit. So here's one of the Attack on Titan Nensous. Not much to see there. And spoiler alert, this is Bashini Lord Master Nensou. Unfortunately, it does not come with a skin, but it comes with a VCR that he uses. It's a really good Nensou for Bashini. It makes him much easier to use. And here is Lamia's Nensou, and this is another Nensou. If you really want to run Lamia, you're really going to want to have this Nensou, because you don't want the Nensou, you want the VCR on it as well. The VCR's got really good stats, and the Nensou gives her an extra skill use, which is kind of important, because without it, her charge up only has one cast. So here we have another Attack on Titan Nensou. And I don't have Daisy's limited Nensou, but I do have the free Nensou from that event. Daisy's smiling face is always a joy to look at. And here is the Tomomo Nensou. And I don't know who's cuter in this picture, Tomomo's expression or the little fox she's carrying. Probably the little fox she's carrying. It's a really good Nensou, by the way. If you missed out on Life Belt, you want to make sure you get a couple copies of these. So you guys have probably seen this a lot. This is Nina's Nensou, and it's adorable. And in case you were wondering exactly what she's doing, she is teaching the forest critters that Victor is bad and Vettel is good. No joke. That is what's going on. We love you, Nina. And I don't have Belta's Nensou, but I do have the Halloween Nensou. This is the free one with Melda and Hayate. You're going to want to grab 2 Max Limit Break copies of these because you don't want to use it on both of them. It's a very good Nensou for those two. Not really anyone else, but... And this is another one of my favorite artworks, because not only does it have Lucia doing like what she loves to do, but you also got this really skeptical Mayfawn in the background. 2 of my favorite characters in the game in the same Nensou. Yes, please. I really do like the artwork on that one. And here is Mayfawn in her Halloween skin, and as you can see, she is absolutely terrified of blobs. Perhaps she should consult Tina, because Tina's pretty good at dealing with blobs from what I hear. And you can see Elizabeth in the background laughing at her, and Naka's just over there terrified, because Naka does what Naka does. And this is the POTK Nensou. And I'm not exactly sure who all the characters are on here, aside from, what is it, Leviathan? I can't even pronounce it. I've been told I pronounce it wrong. And here is Sophia's Nensou. I really don't know what Sophia does. I never raised her, I never used her, but there's her Nensou. And here we have Albea's Nensou. This is Baby Albea. You get this in the Sloth Babble. And you probably saw this one recently on my Fire Team building video, but this is the Nensou I used for that thumbnail. And the character on the left is Pamela. We affectionately call her Small Pam in the Discord. She basically exists for the sole purpose of buffing Emma, though. She's okay. And for Wilhelm fans out there, because I know there's a couple of you, here's his Nensou with Magnus. It's actually a really nice looking Nensou, and it actually has a pretty good VCR too. And I unfortunately do not have Courage's Nensou, so let's skip right over to Lafia. And this has a really nice Lafia skin with it, and Cheryl also likes that Nensou. And here is the Christmas Nensou for Klima. And as you can see, it has Kara in the background waving. And here is Lavina's Nensou. I'm super happy Lavina got a Nensou. I just kind of wish it was better than this. The artwork's okay. The VCR on it and the Nensou itself is pretty good, though. Honestly, probably the best part of this entire thing is actually Lafia's expression in the top right. And somehow Michael is not being a perv in the background. Like, he actually looks like a loving grandpa. So here is Briggs and Shayna for a... This is actually a free Nensou. You can farm it and max limit break it really easily. If only you could do the same with Brig. She's supposed to be farmable like sometime next month. Honestly, the best part of this entire Nensou there is if you look at the bottom, the little fox-like thing looks like a fennec fox that's eating. It is very, very satisfied. And here's a picture of Orion. You'll be getting him soon. Unfortunately, Orion is Orion's Nensou is garbage on anyone but Orion, but the VCR is actually good on any Thunder Male unit, so it's good on Orion. Sorry, Thunder Male Greed Deck unit. So here is Rakina's Nensou. I've been told Rakina is a unit, but I wouldn't know because it's not like she was ever featured. It's still salty. And here is the FMA Nensou. Nothing super special about that. And Tilter's Nensou or Torito's Nensou. This comes with a skin, by the way. This also comes with a skin, and this is Ultima's New Year Nensou. Although, let's just face it, the real winner in here is Sada in her kimono. Although, Ultima's skin looks really nice, too. Gotta love that expression. Monzain's pretty cool, too, I guess. And here is the Vita units. Well, the Vita units we had prior to Zwei, of course. They'll be adding in the rest of the Vita units over time in Japan. And Zwei is number 2. So what is that? We have, what, 7 here and the 2, so there should be 2 more at least. And I never got Kagura's New Year Nensou, unfortunately, but here is Zane's Nensou. His skin Nensou. Unfortunately, the Nensou itself is pretty garbage. The VCR itself is pretty garbage, but the skin is pretty nice. And the actual Nensou art on it is pretty stellar, too. And you probably saw this one pretty recently, but this is Setsuna in a kimono for New Year's. And the 7 Deadly Sins collab Nensou. This is the free one, by the way. And here is the one that you actually had to get multiple steps for. So basically, the first one is bad and the second one is good. I do not have Emel's Nensou, but here is a Kuena's Nensou. Not super happy with that one. Could be better. Now, I do really like this one. Setsuna clearly worked hard on that, or I'm sorry, Suzuka clearly worked hard on that chocolate. Has a great skin with it, too. But this is the real winner right here. Not just the fact that it has Itsuki in it, and Itsuki in it with a great outfit, and Itsuki in it eating chocolate covered in hot sauce, but that horrified look on Eve's face as she does so. It's just great. I believe Itsuki is actually an Oni, for anyone who was wondering, which basically means she's not human. And this kind of shows in the timeline, because she actually lives more than one generation. So here is Ott's 3rd Nensou. Yeah, 3 Nensous. But this is probably the best one artistically, and it also has a great skin with it as well. And I unfortunately don't have Mocha's Nensou. Here is Julia. She is part of the revolution that the goddess wouldn't bless, or whatever it is. She's a water unit. And I don't have Moa's Nensou. I want that Nensou so bad. It's probably my top list for Nensous I want, along with Mocha's. But here is Kevin's Nensou. And this is a new unit called Gino. He's basically a Water Fist Zerker. And that's actually Phrase right there, who's still just kind of ignored. And this is Zwei, who I talked about earlier in her, I guess, demon form or whatever. I really want Zwei so bad. And here is Noin's Nensou. It's a shame Noin's model doesn't look as good as his Nensou artwork. And this is Theus, with who I assume is his little sister. We actually got this in the April Fool's event. It's actually a really good Nensou on him. And I'm actually going to skip over Neika's for reasons that I have said before. But here's an up-close picture of Tiona's. Well, I guess if you wanted to see the Macross one, that's what it looks like. And I don't have any of the other Macross ones. And finally, here is Sada's Nensou. This one looks really nice. She's fighting Fury in that picture, in case you couldn't tell. And I unfortunately do not have Laura, Zen's, or Leonia's Nensou. So let's go quick and just run right through the other stuff here real quick, because we still have a little bit to go. because we have these. Now, I'm going to be skipping the ones here that aren't Nensous, because really what all these other things are is, it's just this. It's nothing super stellar, but these are actual artworks that were submitted to the, to Tagatame to be featured as, basically mech ratties, or mechanical visions, but they're like special ones because they get registered in your gallery and you can go back and see them again. I like Emma and Noah in that pick the most. Here's one of Glance. Not a huge fan of this one. And here's one of Tina. And for those of you who don't know, this is Amane, and she's going to be the final main character for the main storyline. And she should be in the next chapter that's released in Japan. Now here's a picture of Belta and Sharon. Sharon's got that sad pouty face on. She's adorable. And here's one of the guys. It's got Wilhelm, Vettel, Ren, Gerard, and I'm not even sure who that last one is. Here are some of the super early low star Wrath units, although I guess Albea is still in the picture. I didn't even notice that. Is that Ramses right there? But it's basically an arena picture. And here's one of Yomi. Yeah. Alright, so here's one of the BD units. And this I think is actually official artwork, but I'm not 100% sure. It looks really nice though. This one I know for a fact is official artwork. I don't even know who all the characters are yet, and I kind of skipped all the story anyways, because I don't really care. Now, I really do like this one. Briggs is one of my favorite characters, by the way. Here's one of Kaya and Ultima. Some of the characters that these people actually chose to draw are really out there. Here's another one of Sharon. You know, best Thunder unit, obviously. And here's a nice one of Ira and Maya. You even got one of Kuon. Here we have Uzuma. Perhaps a little suggestive, but still a nice piece of art. And you can see what's front and center of this one, but that's just Amos, and I'm not even sure who these other two are. And this one's actually a really good one too. It features Emma and Aishah. And that is actually the last thing I had to show you guys. Unfortunately, I don't have all of the Nensous and all of these event ones, but I tried to get the best variety that I could. I'm just gonna pull this one up for now because I really like this one. I tried to get as good of a variety as I could, and clearly I still have to get some of the limited ones yet, but it'll come in time. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I know there is no, like, really informative content in here, aside from a couple clips here and there, but overall, I do hope that, if you really wanted any of these pictures in, like, a higher quality, I hope you were able to get them like this. So, thanks for watching, as always, and I hope to see you next time.